Hello, nobody! This is E-Rock Talks, and this is my first actual video where I'm showing the new tactical feature, the after battle report for Bannerlord. Now, this has been in a gameplay video for like a year, but I haven't seen any videos made about it, and the developers also haven't really talked about it. So, this first picture that you're seeing here is from Warband, and I've got a person here who we're going to call Anon, my friend, and we're going to be talking about it and going over it and just discussing what we think are some potential like symbols in the last picture we'll be seeing. So, you remember this screen, right, from Warband?
Oh yes, how could I forget? Although I didn't lose that many times.
Yeah,
Mine
usually.
was usually more positive.
Yeah. Uh, I went into a. I was playing this in a mod, but I went into a game just to get the screenshot, and I got like massacred. Uh, I did the auto resolve, which is why that thing sucks. Hopefully they fix that. But so this next video, the next picture that you're seeing, is the deployment screen for the Defender, and as you can see at the top, it's got 91 infantry, 38 archers, 53 horsemen, but they aren't actually horsemen because you can't have horses in a siege. And one thing that I noticed that I haven't heard anyone talk about is these two golden bird-shaped symbols, and there's two faded out ones too. What do you think those could mean?
Okay, well this is my first time looking at all this, but it's definitely a huge step up from what it was in Warband. That's for sure, because I mean they didn't even have anything like this where you could actually set up your own troops and defenses on the wall. I mean this is more like Total War than anything, but I like it. It's better than just jumping straight into a battle into a mob of your own soldiers. But as for those little yellow icons underneath those soldier portraits, I mean they could be indications of their rank or their maximum unit size. Like I see like the soldier with the sword and the shield, I think it says 91, so you have 91 of them. And maybe you can, that means that you have like half of the max swordsmen you can have.
If that were the case, though, each one of them is at exactly half. That seems really unlikely. That
I mean, it's just a guess.
it might have something to do with numbers, but I don't know. Okay, we'll move on to the next picture. It's a similar one. The third picture shows a more detailed split up, and this was from the Siege gameplay from 2016 at E3. And what the developer did is he clicked the auto deploy button in the bottom right corner, and as from the second picture, you can see all the troops sitting there in the like the center, but it auto deploys them on the walls and on the siege equipment. So it seems like you can auto deploy, but you can also manually put them on the walls and stuff. I guess pretty similar to Total War, which is awesome. Not sure how those units got split up, but it might be like if it's like a veteran archer versus just like a trained archer. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good guess there. But as for this being similar to Total War, just based off like the last one I played, which is Total War Warhammer, they didn't even have really an auto deploy thing where you could automatically like put your guys on walls and at the gates and manning the weapons and everything like that. They just sort of like started out wherever they were, and then you just had to manually put them here. But this seems pretty well done, I'd say. If they can cover the gates and all the tactical points to defend, I really like that. It'll probably save you a lot of time.
So the fourth photo is the main one that the main video is really about. And the most interesting part about this is the 6 symbols at the top of the unit, like statistics. As you can see, you have a red skull, a yellow broken shield, a yellow flag, a green soldier, and a blue sword and a other color blue, or maybe it's white, double arrow. So what I have gathered from all of the gameplay that I've watched, the double arrow means that those units leveled up in that battle. And there's two reasons I say that. In the gameplay video, the defending army won, because that's the developer's team. And as you can see, 47 of his units leveled up. Only 7 of the enemy's units leveled up because they got massacred. So I know that one's the upgraded one. The yellow flag is how many of your units routed or retreated. The defending army had none. The attacking army had 14. At the end of the video, which I'm going to put the link in the description, you can see some of the units successfully run away. So 2 of the 6 symbols, we pretty much know what they are. Now the third symbol, I believe, the developer said means wounded. So next
Which one is that?
The second one.
Shield?
The second one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I guessed. The broken shield is wounded.
Yeah, so I believe a developer said that was wounded, which makes sense. Now, the red skull, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's how many were killed. I think. But the reason why I'm not sure about that is because Achios, right there, is Achios' party. That's a lord. And the one under the red category, if that means killed, that means the lord was killed. And I don't think there's been confirmation yet that lords can be permanently killed. But if this is the killed category and that lord actually died, this might confirm permadeath for lords, which would be
I think it's
interesting.
possible.
Yeah.
Or it could just mean that they are not like how it was done in Total War usually was that if a lord is downed in battle and they're like a minor lord or something like that, then they're dead and they would have died in the battle. They're gone forever. If they're like a more important lord, then they would be wounded and just out of the game for a few turns.
It could
in this
be
case, however,
could be like that.
It could just mean that he was cut down in battle. Now, in like previous games like Mount and Blade Warband, if the lord you're controlling gets down in battle after like getting cut up a bunch, you still come back afterwards, and probably in the statistics it would count you as having died, but you'd come back. So we can't exactly confirm one way or another.
Yeah. So what do you think the green soldier symbol is? Because I have absolutely no clue. The attacker side has 0, but the defending side has 46.
That's a tricky one. You might be able to figure it out based on how it's distributed across the defending army.
It
So
looks
it's
like
46, and then there's 5 or 6 for like most of them.
it's all pretty even. But none of them are above 6. I'm not really sure.
I'm guessing it might have something to do with the sword icon right next to it.
Well, I
which
believe
seems to be a lot higher.
the sword icon, I think, is how many kills that each unit or unit type got. Because there's 291 kills on the defending side, and if you look on the attacking side, there's 228 deaths, probably, and 67 wounded. 228 plus 67, that's 295. But it's close. So I think the blue sword is how many units were killed / wounded.
Yeah, and that makes sense because if you look at how it's distributed across the unit groups, the highest kill counts are for archers, which usually seems to be the case because they fire on everyone as they try to come onto the walls and all that. So yeah, so I think that more or less confirms. Probably like 5 out of 6 of them. I'm still not sure about that green icon though.
Yeah, so I think this is a way better screen than the first one in Warband.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
it's way more detailed.
It looks like there's a lot less. I mean, there's a bar next to each of the graphs. If like you have a lot of units involved, but you probably won't have to do a lot of scrolling. Uh, it looks a lot more smooth and polished. I really like the UI and what they did with that. And I'm not sure, but because you watched the video for this, right?
Yeah.
So did this appear as like just the battle was ending
Yeah.
and like it paused, or was everything still going on when this showed up?
No, the last attacking units had just retreated, and then it said, Battle 1, press tab to view results, and then you press tab, and this came up.
Okay, but everything in the background, was it all like stopped, or was it
Yeah,
still going?
all of the defending army units were just standing there cheering like, yeah! As they always do. So, yeah. Alright, well, I think this has been hopefully a useful analysis. And this is one of the many things that I'm going to be doing on this channel. I'm going to be talking about video games, video game news, politics whenever something important happens, current events. Also maybe certain things in history, because I will be a history major at East Carolina University soon. So, yeah, remember to check back if you're interested in any of those things.